So we've been cut off from the other nations, so much so that now we think that they're giving us a stimulus check and some medication is because they're trying to help us. They're not. Watch.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah.
For they have consulted together with what consent? They are confederate against thee.
They're what?
They are confederate against thee.
What does the word confederation mean? They are together. They are united. These other nations are united against God's chosen people, which are the so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans. They are confederate against us. How do you know that?
2,000 years after the departure of Jesus the Christ, the prophets are back to teach the real Jews, the 12 tribes of Israel, their true nationality. This is their campaign.
That's the reason why Jesus Christ came to earth. So,
yes.
And he's seen something different with Jesus Christ. That's why he's considered the Son of Man and also the Son of God.
He is the Son of Man and the Son of God. But he is not the God, he is a God.
Yes,
now
sir.
the thing is that according to John 3:16, the word world would have a lot of people confused.
Right.
Because everybody's in the world, right? Yeah. But you know what?
Different world.
You got the Arab world, you got the Elamite world, you got the animal world, you got the medical world, you got the sports world, you got the financial world. Which world is God talking about? Which one? Because there's many worlds in this one. If you go into the jungle, guess what? You're in the jungle world, baby.
That's a whole nother world. Hey.
Welcome to the jungle! Right? That's another world. I went to Guatemala. There was a nice, and there was a caterpillar looked like a blonde mustache, doing this, walking. I went to go touch it. The guy said, "No, you'll die." And the helicopter can't come into the thing to lift you up because that's the only way you're gonna get out of here. I said, "Wow, I didn't know." You know why? Because I'm not of that world. I don't know nothing about that world, and neither do us know about the world of God. Because what? The Bible said that we're hidden. We're hidden. Go back now. Yeah, no, Psalms.
You gotta tell me, I hate to keep it short, but I gotta get back to my kids really soon. I love you guys preaching. You gotta fly? Yeah, my brother.
You know you're an Israelite, right? You know you're an Israelite? From what tribe? Oh, from the tribe of Judah. That's all I need, bro. Right. That's it. All you gotta do is come to the school.
So can I ask you one last question? Are we the real Jews then?
Huh?
Are we the real Jews?
Yes. That's the short
That's
answer.
all I need to know.
All right.
Amen. God bless you. Have a beautiful
Bring
day.
it on.
Psalms chapter 83 verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Sister, we've been cut off. They cut us off. You know how? By changing our names. Saying that we're black, Afro-American, African-American. They cut us off. What's this? It's not black. You know?
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us cut them off from being the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Right?
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
And now we don't remember that we're the Israelites no more because we've been cut off with all these different names. For instance, Africa, African American. The word Africa belongs to a Italian man, a general by the name of Scipio Africanus. He conquered Hannibal in the Second Punic Wars and took the whole continent called after his name, Africa. America comes from another Italian man named Amerigo Vespucci. Everybody knows this, right? Amerigo Vespucci. He's also an Italian man, an explorer. So, if African American, if those two names are related to Italians, how can you be African American if you're not Italian? To say that you're African American is to say that you're Italian twice. So who are you? You're not black is the color in crayon box. You're not African American, that's an Italian word. So what are you? You are from the tribe of Judah. So-called blacks are from the tribe of Judah. That's who you are. That's your biblical name. Read on. And they took crafty counsel against us, against God's chosen people, because they were all upset that we are God's chosen people. So they took crafty counsel. They had COINTELPRO and killed Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. All right? They said that Sakata Shakur is an assassin, a terrorist, and put her in hiding. Okay, you had all these revolutionaries that knew what was up, and they killed everybody in Puerto Rico, right? The young lords. He's a remnant of those men and the sisters that were with him. They destroyed that too. There's a new chapter, yes, but are they as active as they were back then? Okay. So they silenced us. They took crafty counsel. And they tell you that the people who they couldn't reach, like Noriega, like Eduardo Roldos from Ecuador, that man had a financial empire on his mind to unify 3 of the major countries in South America. They killed him. The economic hitmen. They went in there and they gave him a plane because he said, no, we don't want it. He said, the United States said, just take it. It's our gift, for the time that we spent here. Thank you very much for your hospitality. When the plane crashes, what is the first thing that they found? Black box. You know that plane didn't have a black box?
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
Crafty counsel. Read it again.
They have said, come and let us, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
So we've been cut off from being a nation, so much so that now we think that they're giving us a stimulus check and some medication is because they're trying to help us. They're not. Watch.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
They're what?
They are confederate against thee.
What does the word confederation mean? They are together. They are united. These other nations are united against God's chosen people, which are the so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans. They are confederate against us. How do you know that? Well, take a look around you. We don't own any of these businesses out here. And if our people do own a bodega, they gotta pay the white man for that.
Yeah.
Right? Look, that pizzeria, not ours. That Crown Fried Chicken, we put so much money in that. We should have enough money to have our own fried chicken place, don't you think, Mom?
Right. Yeah.
But no, that the Arabs own, or the Africans own. Look, right next to it, look how they got it all set up. Check it out. Food, food, food. Food, weed store, cell phone, cell phone. Check it out. Vitamins, well, vitamins with a question mark, GNC. Vitamins. Food, music, food, clothes, food, food, food. That's the setup. That's what we're dying from diabetes. Because of that quality food that they serving in there? No. Where are the mixed vegetables next to that fried chicken? What vegetables? We have mashed potatoes and gravy. Well, what's the gravy made out of? No. Well, your gravy might be from flour, but not their gravy. Their gravy has a chemical in there that has 17 syllables that you can't even pronounce. How come all the letters can make one word? That don't make no sense. The chemical in the oil alone causes cancer, diabetes. See what I'm saying? Look at the medication that they're giving us right now. Let's talk about people with diabetes.
Oh, kill you.
Metformin.
Yeah, Jordan.
Metformin, you know what metformin does?
Kill you.
Thank you. That's the quick answer.
Kill you.
The slow answer is it helps regulate your sugar, but it doesn't help to eliminate the diabetes.
No.
Read it again.
No.
Verse 4.
Hey, pull your pants up, bro. Cover yourself.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They consult together and say, how do we kill these people? Well, we can't go over there with guns and knives and swords like we used to. How do we do it? Let's try and kill them with medication. Actually, Bill Gates had a seminar, TED Talks. He said if we do real good with the medication, he used another word with a V. I'm not going to mention it because if they mention it, they might take us out. But if we do real good with the medication, we could bring the percentage down to 10-15%. Who? Us? You want to bring us down by 10-15%? It looks like it's working too. A lot of people dying with that medication.
Yeah, destroying your organs.
Thank you. Read it again.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They have counsel with each other and say, how can we take out these people, these chosen people of God, without doing so that they can unify? Because if they outright kill you, and I see it, I'm going to go to him. I'm going to go to him. I'm going to go to all these men. I'm like, yo, they killed our sister. We got to unite. They don't want that. They don't want that. J. Edgar Hoover said the worst thing that could ever happen that he's afraid of is the rising of a black Messiah and black unity.
Right now.
You don't want that. Why? Because we can easily overthrow the government. But we're not here to overthrow the government. We're here to show you what you need to do according to God's laws. Get yourself, sit down, get your mind right, and wait for Jesus to come and do all the work.
All the work.
All we gotta do is work for him doing this.
That's right.
Handing out the flyers, teaching the people how to get right, telling the men to love their wives, telling the wives to love their husbands, and do right according to the law. And raise children so you can raise this nation. That's what we're here for.
Right.
Read it again.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom,
the Edomites, or Edom. Now we're going to break down as to who these nations are. Edom is another word for Esau. Well, Edom is red, Idumean, which is a so-called white man today. All right, you know?
and the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites are the Arabs today. Go ahead.
Of Moab,
Chinese.
And the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes are Egyptians. Not the Egyptians that you know today. The Egyptians that are further down south in Africa, they call the Watusi. Those are the Hagarenes, the Egyptians, right?
Gabal,
Africans.
And Ammon.
Ammon are the Japanese, right?
And Amalek,
Amalek are the so-called Jewish people today. The ones with the yarmulke, those are the Jewish. Amalek, right?
The Philistines,
Africans.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Tyre are other Africans, right?
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur are the people from Babylonia, Persia, right?
They have helped the children of Lot, Selah,
which is Ammon and Moab, which is the Chinese and the Japanese. Those are the children of Lot. So all those people are against us. They're against us. And now you can tell by the businesses that are around them, that are around us, that they are against us because they're the ones that own the building and they own the businesses. You mean to tell me that we're not smart enough to have our own business? No. You know why? Because we've been destroyed. Crafty Council will tell you, have told us that we're not good enough to own a business. Okay? And if you do get that smart enough to own a business, you got to pay them fees. And it makes it very difficult for us to even own and maintain a business. Right?
We used to scream Black Power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.